Hey there. All right, so it was requested that I do a tapping up to the camera, but do a specific trigger at the end. So I'm going to be doing a tapping up to the camera video, but I figured I might as well just kind of make it a general purpose visual ASMR video. So it's going to be more visually oriented because I'm going to be doing stuff up close to the camera. It may not be as loud as usual. I know I do slightly louder ASMR, so I'm sure that a lot of you like that. So sorry, this video will probably be a little bit quieter because I'm going to be doing things here rather than here, which is where it picks up most of the sounds. But that's just the way the setup has to go, unfortunately. So anyway, yeah, visual ASMR. And again, I can't see what I'm recording, so I don't really know if it's going to look correct. Hopefully it does, but we'll see. But this is not a very long object. Maybe I should turn up the gain. Actually, I think I'm gonna turn down the gain. I know it's counterintuitive, but I think if I turn down the gain, then I can boost the audio of the entire clip. And it should pick up this better. I don't know. We're gonna try that. Hopefully it doesn't ruin the whole video, but that's what we're gonna do. So if I understand it correctly, that's what the person was asking for. They wanted a tapping up to the camera, but then at the end, you like shoot something at you. Pew, pew. I do feel a little silly doing this. I'm not going to lie. But that's just ASMR in a nutshell. Sometimes you gotta do weird things. Hopefully this is in frame. It should be, actually, because the microphone's in frame, so I don't know exactly where it is, though. I really hope this works out with the audio. I'm taking a bit of a gamble. A bit of a gamble. You can't really hear, probably, the sound of the flicking, but that's a trigger in and of itself because it's all the way over here. This is going to be a more tingle-oriented video, hopefully, because a lot of my videos are just rambles, which, I mean, if you think that's relaxing, then fair enough, but they're not, like, tingle-oriented, you know, it's more relaxing-oriented, if that makes sense. Who is it? Tiptoe Tingles does salt and pepper. I really like that trigger. Let's get a different object, shall we? Let's try the clapper board. I kept calling it a clacker board. I guess it's technically called a clapper board or a slate. I don't know. I feel like people would know what you're saying regardless of what you call it exactly. Sorry. But who knows? I'm gonna kind of try to cover my face a bit because I don't know if the autofocus like tries to, you know, lock onto a face. So hopefully it'll focus a bit closer to like what's actually going on here if I block my face. That's what I'm hoping. Kind of flicked it a little hard. I don't know if you can see how dusty this is. When you look at it head on, it doesn't look that dusty, but when you look at it at an angle, it's kind of dusty. That's okay. All right. Close your eyes. Okay. And now you can open them. It was just for that second. I just wanted you to know that I'm still in control. I'm still in charge here. You have to do what I say. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm a little out of practice when it comes to like legit ASMR. I call myself an ASMR channel, but honestly, I don't do a ton of ASMR outside of just like tapping nowadays. What about that? Is that cool? Hopefully this is in focus. I think the focus range is around here. Again, I don't know exactly where the edges of the frame are, but I'm going to assume it's something like up here. So like, I'm just going to outline the frame roughly where I think it is. Something like that, probably, I imagine. Maybe. I'm gonna just, and then just hold on. I just gotta, there we go. Okay, just a little bit more. Just, yep, you're doing great. Just gonna, there we go. Just gonna, all right, perfect. Just one more, I guess. Okay, maybe one more. Hold on. Let's, there we go. Okay, perfect. You did great. My special notebook. I'm just gonna crush you a little bit. Just don't worry about it. It's not gonna hurt. It's just. All right. Enough jokes. No more jokes. This video is not gonna be funny anymore. Not that it was to begin with. I hope this is what the person wanted, because I'm not 100% sure. I'm just kind of hoping here. Wouldn't it be really embarrassing if they were like, that's not at all what I was asking for. Sorry. Boom. Boom. I'm hitting you with the book. Oh my goodness. Boom. I can tap on it up close, far away. Anywhere. Oh, I can hit myself in the face with my own hand. All the way around the microphone. Oh, and then I can put it right up to your face. Some tapping noises. You gotta throw some tapping noises in there. Now I'm starting to wonder, because I'm still recording audio on this, and actually this phone records binaural audio because it has two microphones. I mean, I guess they always had two microphones, but they just never really took advantage of that. I don't know why. But I could maybe do like a mixed system where like I use both audios, maybe. Who knows? I might experiment with that. We're just gonna put that on there. That's probably pretty loud. I don't know, it doesn't look. Hold on. I'm still a little sick, guys. I'm still coughing just a little bit, and is that a trigger? Just the. It's like from Wolf of Wall Street. Matthew McConaughey's character. Alright, what does this say? What does this say? What does this say? You got the C, you got the C, you got the O. What's this one? What's this one? Come on, you know this. You know this. I know you know this. Come on. Come on. Come on. What is this one? What is this one? What is this letter? What is this letter? Come on, tell me. Tell me what this letter is. I don't have all day. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Tell me. Tell me what this letter is. Yep, N. And what's this one? Come on, I know you know this. I know you know this. It's another N. Wow. And what's this one? An O and an R. Wow. And what's this one? An S. And what's this one? An apostrophe. Wow. If instead of an R my name had a C, if instead of an R my name had a C, my name would be an what's that called? Hypochondriac? No. What is that called? A hippogram? No, that doesn't sound right. It's not anagram. That was the first thing I thought of. Anagram is like, isn't that? No, that's acronym. What is an anagram? What is this? It starts with an H, I am almost certain. Like race car is an example. Like it's a word that's spelled the same forwards and backwards. What is that called? I really am blanking on this word. But yeah, my name would be that if the R was a C. You see that? You see that? You see how it would be the same forwards and backwards? Because it would be CONNOC and CONNOC and CONNOC and CONNOC and CONNOC and CONNOC. You see? Can you see? Can you see how if this was a C, it would be the same forwards and backwards? Can you see that? Can you see the C? I don't know if you can see it. I'm just gonna fan you off really quick. It's getting pretty hot in here, I'm not gonna lie. I've got the fan going, but it's not enough. It is not enough. I know it's November, but global warming is a bitch, my guy. It is getting warm in here. So I just gotta fan you off really quick. Alright, that should be enough. Maybe a little bit more. Alright, that should be enough. Let's get a new object going. We've got it would be helpful if I could hold on to things. That may be the loudest sound ever in one of my videos. That was loud. That was like when you drop like a textbook perfectly on its face, you know? I'm sure everyone's done that at some point, and it's just like an atomic bomb going off in the classroom. It was like that, except a piece of wood. I was gonna go one finger at a time, but then I realized I'd be flipping you off, and I would never do that. I would never flip off my audience. Will that get your video like age restricted? Because you know, like they can't show that stuff on like TV shows. They always blur it because it means fuck you technically, which I've always thought is weird because it's like it's just a signal, like fuck you. I don't know. I mean, censorship for like bad words in general is kind of silly, I think. I mean, I don't know, I go kind of back and forth on this myself, but it's like on the one hand it's pretty stupid to like give those words so much power, even though I mean like that's kind of the point of using them. But at the same time, it's like, you know, when you see like a little kid cussing, like an elementary school kid cussing, it's like, boy, you better learn some manners. I don't know. So like if it was less censored, you'd probably see a lot more of that. It would just become more normal in general. So I don't know. I do go back and forth on that though. That's my rambling for this video. That's all you're gonna get. Oops, hit the microphone. You wanna know what this microphone smells like? It smells like foam, because that's what the cover's made out of, okay? It smells like foam. The downside, I said that like a southerner. The downside of making a slightly faster paced video is that time goes by extremely slow when I'm just rambling and tapping on stuff really slowly. You know, I can do that for what feels like, 10 seconds, and it's been 30 minutes. I've been doing this for what feels like 30 minutes, and it's been, I think we're at like 18 maybe. So yeah. That used to be something that I was really bad about, especially when I first started doing ASMR. My first videos, the ones where I was doing like a name for each video. Like the first one was Emily. And that video is, I think it might be under 2 minutes long. I think it's only like 140 or something like that. It is incredibly short. But it felt like it took like an hour to make. It's also kind of funny to me. When I first started doing this, I was like really self-conscious about like how I looked in the videos and like just how they turned out in general. To where like that first video took me like 5 tries to get it right, and it was only like 1 minute and 40 seconds long. And nowadays I'll just turn on the camera, record for 30 minutes and call it a day. I don't know that that's necessarily a good thing, to be completely honest, but that's just how I do it now. Crunch, 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 crunch. You thought I was gonna crunch you, didn't you? I would never crunch you. Crunch. See, I got you. You thought I was never gonna crunch you again. I keep you on your toes. I keep you guessing. That's what it's all about. You're welcome. You just got slapped in the face with a piece of wood. That, disregard that. Yeah. really curious to how the audio on this episode is going to turn out. I'm hoping that it's good. Can you hear that? Can you hear that? I have to transfer the wood each time. That's tricky, you know. I'm a pretty dexterous guy. I would never drop a piece of wood and make like the loudest sound known to man while making an ASMR video, which is a highly sound sensitive video genre. I would never do that sort of thing. I'm just too good. I'm too good to make that simple of a mistake, you know? The question is, though, if I do combine the audios, what is it going to sound like? Because, like, you know, is it going to sound like your head is here? Because it's like the middle point between the two sources, you know? Because if so, then, like, right now, I'm like inside your mind, but I have no idea if that's how it's going to turn out. This microphone is very like forward facing, so I have a feeling that it's not going to equal out quite like that, but who knows? Maybe it'll just sound like you have like 4 ears, you know, and you can experience what it would be like to be a human being with 4 ears. Imagine that. Imagine if we had 4 ears. I find it really funny when you see things in like sci-fi where it's like, you know, they have to make like an alien world with like alien animals, and they always just end up looking like Earth animals if they had like just the most random like appendages and stuff. So you'll see things with like 4 ears or like 6 legs, you know. And while those things are technically not impossible to evolve, I mean, it just doesn't make a lot of sense, because if you think about it, it's like the whole point of evolution is that your mutation gives you an advantage. The reason we have 2 ears is because it allows us to localize audio, so we can tell what direction something is coming from just based on sound alone. But having 3 or 4 ears wouldn't allow us to do that any better, or even if it did, it wouldn't allow us to do it so much better that it would be a huge advantage to that creature that has that mutation, giving them a much better chance to reproduce and spread that mutation, you know? I think the only way that something like that would end up evolving is if I bump the microphone. No, is if it was like the first random mutation, which seems like it would be unlikely, because like, so imagine a population of creatures where they all only have 1 ear, so they can hear things but they can't localize sound, you know. It makes sense that the next mutation would be 2 ears because it's 1 more ear. But potentially, I suppose it's possible that the next mutation could be like 3 ears, and so that creature would have a pretty big advantage over the animals with 1 ear, even though they don't need all 3, they just need 2, you know. It's possible. But then at the same time, there's a possibility that if that mutation happened and then the 3-eared animals took over that population, you know, through natural selection, it seems reasonable to assume that potentially at some point a mutation could occur that drops it down to 2 ears, and maybe that creature requires fewer resources to stay alive, or, you know, whatever, you know. It doesn't, there's so many factors that go into natural selection and evolution and stuff. It's really fascinating. The point I'm trying to make is that I feel like evolution kind of works its way towards the lowest common denominator of sorts, if that makes sense, where it's like, yeah, I mean, having 3 or 4 ears wouldn't necessarily be, I mean, like, it depends, I guess, is what I'm saying. Like, it could potentially be a disadvantage, even though it doesn't seem like it on paper. It's just unnecessary, you know? You don't really see 6-legged animals, at least not like large ones, Because, I mean, if you think about it, like, why would you need six? Like, imagine a deer with six legs. What would a deer with six legs be able to do that a deer with four legs can't? And the deer with six legs has more mass and more body to take care of, so that requires more nutrients. So the deer with four legs, you know, it has a higher chance of surviving because it doesn't need as much food. It's a waste of energy to have six legs. But that's a pretty common trope you see in like sci-fi space animals, is like a deer with six legs, or like a rhino with six legs or something, you know. Because it's so alien, but it's like, it doesn't really make sense though. I get that it's an alien world, but evolution is just constant, you know, it's not world specific. I mean, obviously, different traits will benefit different planets depending on the resources available and the conditions of the planet. And you see that on Earth with the different biomes on Earth giving way to different types of life. You're not going to see a rhinoceros in Antarctica, right? But as for things like that, where it's like six legs versus four legs, it's like you basically only ever need four legs. I guess potentially, if you had like a planet with like really strong gravity, then maybe six legs would be better because it's like more spread out. But I think more likely you would just see animals with four legs that are just shorter and wider, so they have more like surface area, kind of like, you know, elephant legs. They're just like tree trunks basically. Something like that. This video has devolved into another ramble video. I lied to you earlier when I said that that was the only rambling you were going to get, because you just got more. You're welcome. All right. It kind of worked out though, I feel like, because, you know, I started off the video kind of higher intensity, and most people don't watch the whole video anyway, so anyone that stuck around, they probably just want to hear me ramble anyway, so it's kind of win-win. I'm a genius. What can I say? Anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully the sound on this video is not terrible, and I will catch you later. Peace.